Welcome, students. Today we are going to go through the chapter from Footprints Without Feet, chapter number 4, A Question of Trust. It's written by the author Victor Canning. Victor Canning was a writer who also wrote lots of comedy stories. Here in the story, there is a bit of comedy also with a sense of tragedy for the character himself that took place, and a really suspense one. I don't want to reveal it right now because as we go through the story, it will be better for you to understand through the story so that you will understand actually what had actually happened. Now, as this name of the chapter is A Question of Trust, means when you trust somebody, when you trust something. And it is said that the thieves and people who rob have their own rules. The one particular rule about them is that thieves don't cheat other thieves, they always support them and they always trust another thief. So, here is a story about something of that sort that we will go through. That's why the name of the chapter is also written A Question of Trust. How does the trust go through in the chapter? Now, it's written by, as I told you, Victor Canning, a British writer. He used to write short stories, novels, thriller stories almost during the period of 1950s, 60s, and 70s. And this is one of his story that we'll go through. In the chapter, the main character is Horace Tenby, an unmarried 50 years old man. He was a healthy guy, but in months of summer he suffered from hay fever. Now, hay fever, this word is important for you because hay fever does play an important part in the chapter. Hay fever is a disorder affecting the nose and the throat, means a type of an allergy is caused through dust or pollen that comes out from the flowers. He has his own lock business, two helpers he has, means a business for manufacturing maybe locks. He is a good reputed person in this society, honest, but there is one drawback about him that about 15 years back he had served a term in prison library. He was sent to prison. That was also one of the things that we need to keep in mind. His weakness was the hobby of collecting expensive books. He liked reading also, and he liked collecting expensive and rare books which are really costly. So that is also one of the part that we need to remember. Now, as we begin the story, A Question of Trust. Everyone thought that Horace was a good, honest citizen. He was about 50 years old and unmarried, and he lived in the house with a housekeeper about who worried over his health. In fact, he was usually very well and happy, except for attacks of hay fever in summer. As I told you, what is hay fever? It's an allergy from pollen and dust that he used to have. That was his problem during the summer. He made locks and was successful enough at his business to have two helpers. He was a good businessman, and he used to he had the business of making locks with two helpers, but not completely honest. But here we say that he was not completely an honest man. 15 years ago, Horace had served his first and only sentence in a prison library. So 15 years back he was sent to prison library, and that was one of his drawbacks. He loved rare, expensive books, so he robbed a safe every year. So every year he used to do only one robbery throughout the year, and he used to plan it very well so that he would be successful without leaving any trace behind. So that was his planning, because if you do a robbery once in a year, you have a good planning over it, and there are very rare chances of being caught also, because you have planned very well. So, but he had been to prison also, that we have to keep in mind. Each year he planned carefully just what he would do, stole enough to last for 12 months, and he used to rob an amount of money that after that 12 months he could use that money very easily. Means he used to rob a good sum of amount. 12 months, and secretly bought the books he loved through an agent, and he used to get the books also. He loved reading those kinds of rare books also. Now walking in the bright July sunshine, he felt sure that this year robbery was going to be as successful as all the others. Means he had done lots of robbery, but he was not caught every time. So this was also he planned. He felt sure that this robbery was going to be as successful as others. For 2 weeks he had been studying the house at Shotover Grange. Now that was a particular area where he had decided, his aim was fixed, that he had to rob a house there. He had to do a robbery in that house, so everything was planned. Looking at its room, its electric wires, its path, and its garden, everything he was planning. This afternoon, the two servants who remained in the Grange while the family was in London, means the house where he was going to commit the robbery, the people, the family members were at outside, they were not present there, had gone to the movies. Horace saw them go, and he felt happy in spite of a little tickle of hay fever in his nose. So he was ready, but he was worried about his hay fever. He came out from behind the garden wall, his tools carefully packed in a bag on his back. So he decided the house, gathered his tools, everything planned. There was about 15,000 pounds worth of jewels in the Grange safe. You understand? We can call it a tijori also. So he knew that this much amount of worth jewels, diamonds were there. If he stole them one by one, he expected to get at least 5,000, enough to make him happy for another year. So he decided that it would be enough for a year, that robbery. There were 3 very interesting books coming up for sale in the autumn. Now he would get the money he wanted to buy them. So what did he do with the money? He used to buy those books because he loved reading those books. So he used to rob, steal the money, and with that money he used to buy rare and expensive books. He had seen the housekeeper hang the key of the kitchen door on the hook outside. So he knew where the keys were left. He put on a pair of gloves. So he was very cautious about things. He didn't want to leave any mark behind. So now it was the time to do the robbery, to steal. He put the gloves so that he would leave no fingerprints anywhere. The precautions were taken very well, just like now we wear mask, the same thing. He was taking his own precautions. Pair of gloves, took the key and opened the door. So he knew where the keys were lying. He had planned everything, he had seen everything. He took those keys, opened the door, was wearing the gloves. He was always careful not to leave any fingerprints. That's why he was wearing the gloves. A small dog was lying in the kitchen. Now here, as he gets into the house, there was a dog. Now that can create a problem. It stirred, made a noise, and moved its tail in a friendly way. But the dog did not understand much that who he was. So he started wagging his tails. "All right, Sherry," Horace said as he passed. "All you had to do to keep dogs quiet was to call him by their names and show them love." See, he knew that the dog will bark at the stranger. So he had done his entire research. He knew the name of the dog also. So now he called out the name of the dog. So that was, the dog might have also understood that the person might be knowing him, and it started wagging its tail. And he says that you have to show love and call the dog by name, then it won't bite. The safe was in the drawing room behind a rather poor painting. See, they had hid the safe behind a painting so that nobody would notice. Horace wondered for a moment whether he should collect pictures instead of books, and maybe there were lots of good pictures also in the house, so he started thinking that he should collect books, or he also he got confused that he should buy those books, collect the books, or he should buy those pictures, get the pictures also. But they took up too much room. So, and as we understand that pictures are very big, books are very small. So, pictures take a lot of space. In small house, books were better. So, he had decided to think only about the books because they don't take much space. There was a great bowl of flowers on the table. Now, there were flowers also on the table, and Horace felt his nose tickle. He was allergic to the pollen that comes out from the flowers. So he was it was a serious problem. So there were flowers, and his nose started tickling. Means he was uneasy with his nose. He gave little sneeze and then put down his bag. So he started sneezing. That was the first symptom of the allergy. He carefully arranged his tools. He had 4 hours before the servants returned, and he knew everything, that he had 4 hours before the servants will come back, so he had lots of time to rob. The safe was not going to be hard to open. After all, he had lived with locks and safe all his life. Obviously, he was manufacturer of the locks. He was in the business of locks, so he knew how to open it. It was very easy for him. The burglar alarm was poorly built, and there was also a burglar alarm that if somebody tries to steal, the alarm would go up, but it was not of a good quality, it was poorly built. He went into the hall to cut its wire. So he went into the hall and cut off these wires which could set off the alarm. So that was also easy for him. He came back and sneezed loudly, and the smell of the flowers came to him again. But now the problem was that he was sneezing in the room loudly because due to those flowers. How foolish people were when they own valuable things. Horace thought. A magazine article and described his house, giving a plan of all the rooms and pictures of this room. Now, you might be also guessing that how Horace knew in which room the safe was, where the keys were, where everything was. So, here he says that people are really foolish when they give out their plan, the entire, in their magazine articles, they show their entire house. So, this becomes public, and people like Horace, those who are thieves, also get an idea how to rob that house because the entire plan of the house is revealed. So he is saying how foolish people are. The writer had even mentioned that the painting hid a safe. Now, see how foolish even really they were, that they had even told that they had a safe behind that painting, and that was printed in a magazine. Everybody could read and understand. So it was easy for him to get to the safe. But Horace found that the flowers were hindering, means obstacle to him in his work. But the flowers were real problem to him. So he buried his face in the handkerchief. Horace found that the flowers were hindering. So what did he do? He hid himself in the handkerchief. Then he heard a voice saying from the doorway, "What is it? A cold or hay fever?" Now just imagine, when you are stealing something, you are robbing someone's house, you feel that you are alone, but somebody from the behind, if you hear a voice for a thief, that is really very terrifying. And what did the voice say? Is it cold or is it hay fever? Now just imagine, Horace was terrified that he is caught now by someone. Somebody is in the house. Before he could think, Horace said hay fever and found himself sneezing again. And he is saying it is hay fever, and he started sneezing again. A voice went on, "You can cure it with special treatment, you know. if you find out just what plants give you the disease. So that voice is telling that it is not very serious thing. You can find out which flowers you are allergic to, and you can uh, overcome the disease that you are having of sneezing and the allergy of the pollen. I think you will better see a doctor if you are serious about your work. I heard you from the top of the house just now. And what is the person saying? That you are sneezing so loudly. If you want to do this, you stealing the job that you are doing of robbing, you have to be very careful. If you will keep on sneezing, how will uh, you will awake people. And I heard you on the top of on the other floor, you are sneezing so loudly. Now it was quite kindly voice, but one with firmness in it. So it was very firm voice and calm. A woman was standing in the doorway, and Sherry was rubbing against her. Now who was it? When he turned around, he saw that there was a woman, and the dog was just rubbing against her. She was young, quite pretty, and was dressed in red. So the woman was very pretty. The dog was just beside her. She was wearing red dress. She was very pretty and even young. She walked to the fireplace and straightened the ornaments there. And she walked. Now, who was this lady? Who was this woman? That we'll find out in the next chapter. Thank you.